Welcome to another episode of In the Name of Service, a podcast committed to sharing the untold stories of those who selflessly serve. Each episode features an interview with men and women who have been called to a variety of service-focused roles, such as the military, law enforcement, ministry, volunteering, and more. You aren't likely to know the names of the individuals you meet here, but our hope is by the end of our time together, you'll not only know their stories, but possibly be inspired to write your own in some way. Humble in nature, but strong in character, these everyday men and women showcase what it is to truly be a servant. We're glad you're here. Now here's your host, Dr. Barb Thompson.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much for joining me today on the In the Name of Service podcast. I will have you start us off by telling us just a bit about yourself, your background, and what's led you to the place you're at today.
Thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate your time and chance to connect with you, to find out more about what you're doing, to tell you and your listeners what we're doing as well, make more connections, and move our mission forward.
Yeah.
I'm a 21-year National Guard veteran. I moved around the country a little bit with my military career, my civilian career, and that was the best part about the military service, being in the National Guard, was the ability to move around and to continue my career and have opportunities wherever I was. I grew up mostly in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Lived in upstate New York for a while, and then I was out in Arizona for a number of years and finished up my career in Virginia.
All right, you certainly have been all over the place.
Yes.
What initially led you to serve in the National Guard?
My high school recruiters were very successful.
All right, shout out to them.
Give them a lot of respect and recognition. They came out to the high school. They gave a presentation about the National Guard, the past, present, and future. At that time, it was back in the mid-1990s. So they were following up on all the students that did well with the ASVAB, the vocational testing battery. They gave all the aspiring students at that time to see how well we could do potentially in the military. And I did well, so they took a particular interest in me and others who did well in that test. And they came out, did a presentation, invited us out to tour the local National Guard. We met the servicemen. We found out, what they were up to, what they were working on, the opportunities they had, and pretty much I was hooked immediately. I found out about the history of the area, the assignments they've had, the deployments they've had locally across the state for emergencies, for response, for call-outs, and there wasn't much happening back at that time as far as wars or deployments.
Right.
Still the opportunity to get trained, to get benefits, to realize the spirit of service and giving back to the community and so forth. It was a very good connection for me back at that time.
Yeah. And you didn't know, but the busiest time ever in our U.S. military history was about to take place years later. So tell us about the jobs you held during your career in the National Guard and how you chose those, or did they choose you?
The local unit was field artillery. So I became interested in that because that's the work that was available, the mission they had locally. So I became a forward observer, which is a scout for the mortars and their artillery teams. So we learned how to go out and call for fire for those teams. So we did a lot of training at Indiantown Gap up in Pennsylvania, traveling around to Fort Drum, back and forth. And we even drilled down here in Virginia as Pennsylvania Guardsmen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In the summer. So we got around and had a lot of opportunities from there.
Yeah. When you reflect on your career in the military, what stands out now as having been most meaningful for you?
I think definitely my deployments.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a common answer from veterans because they're very challenging, but I also found them very rewarding. I had the chance to, apply my craft, if you will. I had a chance to actually do what I trained to do.
Right.
That was very rewarding personally and professionally to have that chance. So it was not immediate one-for-one, meaning I didn't call for fire. I wasn't a forward observer while I was deployed. They do a lot of cross-leveling for actual missions because you don't always need what you train for I mean, sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. Just depends on where and when you're stationed and what the mission needs are. So I deployed, and they cross-trained us as military police officers for Operation Iraqi Freedom 2.
Yeah.
So,
When you I have heard from some folks in the National Guard,
mhm.
when you redeploy home, it's on active duty, you come back to your home station, you're just surrounded by the people that you deployed with.
Mhm.
Sometimes that's not the case with the folks who are in the reserves or the National Guard. Can you talk us through your redeployment experiences and any challenges you faced as you came back home?
That's a good question. I didn't have a lot of challenges myself personally. I didn't really know others that did have the challenges of reintegration. I think that was more of a minority,
Mm-hmm.
at least in my experience. It was not something that everyone experienced. It wasn't very common.
Yeah.
And we didn't particularly have, very, very hard deployments. I don't mean that to take away from what we, accomplished or
Sure.
the service sacrifices we made, but there were a lot of other assignments that were more difficult and more taxing on lives and so forth. So all that is to say that we came back, we integrated well, we stayed in touch, but we also moved on with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I particularly changed units.
Okay. You continue to move all around.
Yes, it was good, and it was challenging at the same time, because as you become more senior in the military, you need to have those relationships built. And I saw some of the guys at each state I worked in. I saw some of the guys I worked with, by staying in touch, able to have more career success by continuing
Mm-hmm.
relationships versus moving around. It was a little bit more difficult because I didn't know anyone and no one really knew me. So it
Sure.
became an extra challenge professionally to be successful. I
Right. You have to prove yourself all over again.
know
Yeah.
you're a new guy, but you've served for 5, 10, 15 years, and you're still starting all over again in
Right.
some respects.
Well, tell us the history of Vets Retreat Virginia and what led you to found this organization.
That I retired from service in 2017, and I missed it. I mean, for all the love, for all the
Yes.
for all the for all the everything it was, I love it. I miss it. I appreciate and respect the service. Those who have gone before, those currently serving, and all those who serve in the future. So it's something that's very important to me. I want to give back to the community, to stay connected, and to help those that did not adapt so well to their service, or they bring it back with them, and go and have challenges mentally or physically from those deployments. So I know not everyone adapts as well as we would have liked or we would have hoped. So we wanted to provide those connections, provide those resources, provide those opportunities to benefit.
It's
So we're a 3-year-old nonprofit organization working in the military, first responder, and family health and wellness space. We focus on a couple of different areas. We provide peer-to-peer support, just a group of veterans and first responders that want to help each other. So we want to organize events and activities for the community, mainly focus on one of two areas. We either focus on entertainment or athletics as our two major focus areas. We get outdoors, we go out to parks and campgrounds. We go out to existing facilities like American Legions and VFWs and have get-togethers, everything from holidays to special occasions, back to the live entertainment, different themes. We go out for sports events. We go out for all kinds of things. Whatever our community is interested in, we want to organize an activity or an event
Yeah.
around that focus.
Okay, that makes so much sense. I've seen you asking, like, what do you guys want to do next? And what are you seeing happens, during this time of fellowship, basically peer to peer, just getting together and enjoying one another's company.
That's exactly what it is. Getting together, enjoying company. Sometimes there's open social exchange. Sometimes there isn't. All depends on like the person's needs at any given time. So sometimes they want to get together and talk. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes just getting together, being
Yeah.
outside is all they. So we don't force anyone to talk or open up or interact. It's everyone's comfort level. If they want to talk to each other, they can. If they want to talk to us, they can. We don't pressure or tell anyone they have to, tell us what's going on or share their business. If they want to, they can. If they don't have, but it's just about getting
Right.
together, being together. Sometimes you share experiences, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you share advice, sometimes you don't. But again, it's just being together and being involved in an activity can be very stress relieving. It can get
Yes.
your work, your stress, your other problems going on in life at any given time. So it's just a group of people that want to get together and help each other out, support each other. And then from there, we focus on
Yeah.
resource piece, and then we take it from there to referrals. So something is more urgent and more specialized and we can handle. We want to be a network of referrals for other organizations,
Mm-hmm.
professionals that can pick up individual needs when they're more urgent and more specialized.
Right. I love that. What you guys are going on your fourth year operational. Tell us a little bit about what you've learned in the process of, getting Vets Retreat Virginia up and running and just, kind of focused on the mission that you want it to be.
Well, we've definitely learned a lot. We've had our wins, we've had our losses, we've had our challenges. We've been able to help a lot of people. A few other people we weren't able to help, but we're always trying to move that mission forward. And that's what keeps us going is being a resource right now. If the phone rings, we'll answer it. We'll do our best to be a voice, to be a person of a group who cares. Well, we've activated, we've mobilized, we've gone out and taken care of things with no notice at all, any given time, any given hour. So it's a very challenging mission. We can't really advertise our successes in a way, but we've learned
Right.
to stay with it, and we've already accomplished our mission, which is helping people. Now we're just trying to expand and sustain and grow, be able to do more and more as time passes.
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine, you talk about people picking up the phone and calling you guys, and who knows what hour that happens at, or just, some of your drive-by conversations at these get-togethers, I would imagine get you into some tough conversations and just the realization that people are going through difficult times. What keeps you going? And you also mentioned just in the lessons that you've learned, sometimes there's losses, sometimes things don't work out as well as you thought they would, or they're not as successful as you thought they might be. What keeps you motivated to keep showing up, keep answering the phone, and, creating these spaces for veterans to connect?
It's our vision that we've laid out as clearly as we possibly can over the past couple of years. We want to truly open and operate a 24-hour operations center, a place that's always accessible and always available at no cost or reservation burden to our community. We want to have a place open here in Virginia, a large lodge on some private property that's always doors always open. Don't
Yeah.
worry about what day it is, time it is, whether it's a holiday, a weekday, weekend. It doesn't matter. We want to have a place that's always a safe space, always accessible, and have our community there to always offer our services and our friendship. And we
Yeah.
want to be networked with organizations to provide those services at one central location. So
Gotcha.
that's our vision. There's more to it, but in a nutshell, that's what we want to do, and that's what keeps us going is always making progress towards that goal. And it
Right.
all comes with it because we want to be open right now. We want to be conducting this interview right from our property,
Of
but we haven't been
course.
able to. So we're at a coffee shop having this interview, but we want to be operational from our property as soon as possible. We know that it's possible. We just don't know when. That's what keeps us
Yeah.
going. That we have that grand vision outlaid and working on it every day, working on it as we speak to raise awareness to that end.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keeping your eyes on the big picture and constant reminder of what you're going after. But you also keep saying we, so I would imagine there's some kind of team support that helps keep you going. Can you talk about your team a little bit?
Definitely. We have a very small team of veterans. We're always looking for more help, but we do have a small team that helps us. I have a small team with my friend John Self. He's our chief operations officer. He's an Air Force veteran. He has a lot of experience in the military community. He also has experience with the medical community. He's my left hand man, as I say, because I'm left-handed. So that's our running joke. But he and I have formed
Yeah.
a professional relationship. The best thing about us is we didn't know each other before we started. So we became associated through this organization specifically. We didn't serve in the military together. We didn't deploy. We didn't know each other before we started this. So that's one of the best things of this
endeavor is this relationship with my friend John, my chief operating officer.
That's
He's a
so
good guy.
cool.
Been with us a couple of years. He's very, very busy in his personal and professional life outside of working with us. So he's always given his best that he can, and I couldn't be more proud and more grateful for his help. We have our director Ryan. He helps us with events and activities. He's an Air Force veteran. Very happy and very proud of his contributions as well. He's been with us for a while, and looking forward to having him take more responsibility and grow with us as well. Happy to have him with us. He goes out and promotes things for us, plans things for us, attends our meetings, helps us out when and where he can. So very happy to have him. My father always, advised me my whole life. He's on my board. He stays
Yeah.
involved, gives us his advice and his input, his thoughts on the matter. And of course, my team respects him and thankful for his contributions as well. So very welcome. We do have a few volunteers. They're not really the officers or directors of our organization. We're very, very fortunate to have them with us. Our volunteer, Jessica, she's one of our events coordinators and volunteer coordinators. So we're very happy to have her with us. She likes to run our parades and get some kids involved and friends involved that she knows. So it's been a very interesting offshoot for us to get our company vehicle in local parades.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple other volunteers that help us, but we're thankful to have the support and always looking for more to move the mission forward.
Sometimes a great teammate is like all that matters at the end of the day. You talked about his personal sacrifices. I mean, you hold a full-time job as well. So what does that look like for you to try to, obviously, perform at work and then have this additional mission outside of work?
Well, it's definitely a full-time commitment, and I stay in my lane at any given time to make sure I'm giving my best to both efforts. I work for Homeland Security full-time, so that's been a really good background for me to leverage and to also become aware of the first responders side and their needs. Because I've
Yeah.
never specifically been a first responder myself, but through my
Right.
work in security, I am involved with those who are in the front lines more than myself currently. So it's good to have that exposure. It's good to have those resources and to be aware of those needs of those people as well. But definitely keeps me busy. I work, as I mentioned, and then nights and weekends, I do as much as I can for Vets Retreat Virginia, moving us forward, whether it's online events, whether it's events across the state, whether it's interviews like ours, always looking to advance the mission and the cause daily.
It seems like a lot, but it also seems like you're so happy to do it and it fuels you, what kind of advice would you give to someone, let's say maybe they feel called to do something big, bigger than themselves at least, but they don't really know where or how to get started? What would your advice be for them?
I like to say there's no perfect time to start.
For sure.
For me, it hit me like a lightning bolt a couple of years ago. I pretty much realized I wanted to do this for a long time, and I came to the realization it was now or never.
Yeah.
So I had the confidence to jump and start it. And that's my best advice is just start. You're going to have your successes. You're going to have your challenges. You're going to have your mission that comes together over time, and that's going to be the guiding force behind this. So
yeah,
don't be afraid of it and just get started because you'll learn as you go.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. Yes. And I've seen it happen with a lot of individuals and organizations, and I've seen it happen with Vets Retreat Virginia, that you guys are you're really getting clear, there's more and more clarity on what it is that you guys are put on this earth to do, basically. And it's been really exciting to watch you grow and, find that clarity and continue to help in a really unique way. I don't know of anyone else who is having these get-togethers where it's purely no pressure. Just come and be yourself, and all are invited just as you are. There's no requirements, and it's just a time to build relationships. And we all need connections,
yes,
whether we believe it or not. And we may not ever feel like going out, but trust me, once you get out, you're going to be glad that you did. Yeah.
We take it a few steps farther. We even offer transportation whenever we can. We try to take
Wow.
We even try to take all the costs out of the events. It's not always possible to remove every cost. We want
Yes.
our organization to be successful enough to cover all the costs from today forward. If it involves a cost, we want to try to cover as much as we can. So if anyone needs our support, wants to be involved with us, they don't have to worry about their transportation or their costs or their meals or anything else. We want to cover everything for anybody that is served to come out with us and be a community with us.
Oh,
Be
that's
active.
amazing. Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, you're really just tearing down any barrier to make those connections that people might have out there. That is so cool. What's the best way for people to contact you if they need to, or find out more about Vets Retreat Virginia?
We are truly trying to cover all channels of communication, all mediums.
Uh-huh.
We are at vetsretreatvirginia.org. We can be contacted by info@vetsretreatvirginia.org. We run a toll-free 24-hour hotline for peer support, which is 1-888-906-4593. We are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have a very small, very new Reddit channel we just started. We're still learning that. And we just started our X or Twitter X account at Vets Retreat VA.
Awesome.
So
Woo-wee. You guys are out there. That's great. That's awesome.
definitely trying, because we want to have all those channels available for anybody who uses any certain medium to get a hold of us.
Right. And you mentioned that you're always looking for more teammates. Just to give people a specific idea of how they might be able to help or to come alongside Vets Retreat Virginia, what might that look like?
I think the main way that most people can help, probably the easiest and most needed way to help us move this mission forward, is word of mouth.
Yeah.
A little bit of just telling your friends, telling your coworkers, your colleagues, your family, and telling other people who are eligible for our services to participate with us, that we are here. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is why we. And that goes farther, faster than anything I can tell people. I really believe that. If we can get energize and mobilize the military community, or energize, mobilize the first responders or their families, hey, this organization is doing all they can to move us forward to help. If you need it, if you want to be a part of us, we're here. We're 24 hours. We're live. So, tell other people about us. Don't forget those who are not online. That's one of our big. Because a lot of the older vets don't get on Facebook, get on the internet. So we want to include them in our services too, and let them know that we're here for them too. So we ask for attendance and participation in sharing our events and activities to get the word out. We're always fighting the algorithms with social media to have some interaction to get our stuff seen without paying for it. So we want to get people to like, share, comment, and pass it on.
Yes.
So others see what we're doing.
It makes a big difference.
It does, because we don't believe in paying for those types of ads and things. We do occasionally for bigger events, but if we can get the average person to help us, that's a big way to help. So we were always looking for more volunteers. That's the way someone can help, is to find other volunteers for us. We're looking for help with fundraising. We're looking for help sharing our website, or just being an advocate for us. Letting us know that they have questions, or telling people what the feedback is, how they can be involved. So that's another big way to help, is just interact and communicate and be a part of it. Join us.
Right. It's not complex, and that's what's so exciting about it. And it doesn't have to take up, every single day of your month. If you want to help out, you can look forward to maybe one event per year with Vets Retreat Virginia, or, an event in the summer and the fall, whatever your schedule looks like. And Jeff promises a good time, so he's on the hook for it. All right, awesome.
We like to say that people can choose a level of involvement. There's no minimum, no minimum, maximum hours. If life happens, step back. If you do have some more time on your schedule, step up, and we can truly be flexible. We don't say work 20, 40, 60 hours a week. If some people have an hour a month, we'll take it. You can be an assistant if you know social media. You yourself are helping with a podcast. So everyone has something to offer if you're willing, and thank you for this.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for what you guys are doing, and I can't wait to continue
watching you guys grow and impact lives and eventually get that 24-hour operation center. I know it's needed, and it'll be such a relief and a respite and a place of comfort for so many veterans. So thanks for what you're doing, and thanks for spending your time with us today.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for another incredible episode of In the Name of Service. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe. And of course, feel free to share with those you feel would like to be inspired. Have a difference maker in your life that you'd like to see featured? Reach out to Dr. Barb Thompson at inthenameofservice@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.